What's up, Topeka? Welcome to the I'm from Topeka podcast, broadcasting straight from the north, south, west to the east side. We're here to bring you the stories of people in the pulse of Topeka. Whether you're a longtime resident or just curious about what makes the city tick, we've got you covered. And today, we have the comedian on the streets. You might have seen him, man. He's making everybody laugh from the north, southwest to the east side. He's making you smile. You seen him on Facebook, YouTube. You've seen him across all social media.
Doing his thing.
Today, we got Malik on the streets, man.
Let's go. Clap it up for Malik.
Let's go. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
All love,
good,
man.
sir.
All love.
Thank you.
It's
Welcome.
awesome, man.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Yeah,
Sir.
for sure, man, for sure. So I've seen you around, you know, obviously I used to work with you for a little bit before I end up, you know, saying like, yeah, this ain't for me, I'm out of here. But also I've seen you doing Malik on the streets, you know, I've seen your comedy on Facebook and everything like that. But for the people that don't know you, who are you and what do you do?
For those of y'all that don't know me, like you said, my name is Malik El-Amin, best known as Malik in the Streets. I'm a comedian here in Topeka. Been living here in Topeka my whole adult life. Originally from Kansas City, Missouri, though. And I'm a father. I'm a husband. And I've been doing the comedy thing for about 5 years now. I got to give a shout out to Top City Comedy.
Shout out to Top City Comedy.
Yeah,
man.
they're the ones who really got me started. Ed Davis, I don't know if y'all know him or not, but he's a comedian around. He was the one that was like, man, you're actually more than funny looking. You're actually
So you got the whole package deal.
Yeah,
man.
he was like, man, if you combine your ugly looks,
Just put the voice behind it too?
And your witty personality, you'll be unstoppable. So I was like, you know what, I'll do that. You know, so I started doing that about 5 years ago, doing open mics, doing the competitions at Top City, and everything's just been growing from there.
Let's go. That's awesome. So shout out to Ed Davis. Also shout out to Top City Comedy. We literally just had Chris on the episode right before you.
Oh yeah, I just saw Chris.
Yep.
I just did a promotion for a
Shout
show
out
that
Chris,
they're
man.
happening.
Let's go.
out
Yeah.
there,
Shout out to Chris
tomorrow.
man.
So
It's crazy how things line up, man.
It
It's
is,
literally
man.
like we didn't we never
Just
even thought.
connecting.
Yeah, just connect.
What's the thing? What's the 7
degrees of
7 degrees of
No,
separation.
not in Topeka, bro. It's like 1 or 2.
Yeah, really.
Right.
It's
It is,
one or
though,
two for
for
sure.
If
That's
I-
the truth.
Yeah, if I don't know you, I definitely know someone that knows you.
Yep,
You
yep.
know what I mean?
Mhm. It's not 7 people.
You got to be careful what you do out here on
Yeah.
the streets of Topeka.
You lying. You ain't
Somebody
lying.
gonna see you. Hey, girl, I saw Keith at
someone's gonna know.
Walmart.
Someone's gonna know. Someone posted it probably.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. exactly.
Someone posted it
You
and
ain't
everything. You can't get away with nothing.
You can't,
Nah.
bro. You can't not hear
Ain't
it.
no
That's
way,
why
man. Ain't
it's
no way.
hard, but
So did you started at Top City Comedy? Is that how you first?
That's how I first got started doing comedy. They started having their open mics. It's Cosmo Court now, guys. Go check it out. It's pretty awesome.
It is.
But
It is.
back then, it was the break room.
yeah.
For all you old school cats back that know about it from back then, so they did the open mics. Then they did the competitions. Then I started going to other open mics. People started. Things just started happening. You know what I mean? I've never really had any hoop dreams about this.
Yeah.
I still really don't like becoming famous. I just whatever happens. I like having fun
Love that.
with it. And then I actually right before COVID too. I kind of started taking steps back away from it. And then another shout out I got to give out to my buddy Tyler Shrunk. He's the one that was like, man, you're funny. You've got to get your social media game up. And he kept telling me, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, I'm on it. I'm on it.
And then one day I look on Facebook, and he done posted it,
There it
stuff
is.
already.
He
There
said, if
you
you
go.
don't, I will.
Yeah.
And one could be mad, like, man, I wasn't ready. But I was ready, and he knew I was ready. And so I got to give a shout out to him.
That's awesome.
Co-owner of Balanced Lawn Care.
Yeah.
Shout out Tyler. Thank you for
Yeah,
getting
shout out
him
Tyler.
in.
We're gonna get him on here, man.
Motivated.
He's in the list.
Yeah,
for sure. We got him.
He's a very good guy, very motivated, and hear all the stuff you've been seeing, like Malik in the streets, all that. Honestly, I give credit to him. I'm just the pretty face.
Yeah, you just a man
Yeah,
behind
There
it.
you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
Sit on the face of the brand, baby.
Yeah. But you guys, honestly, that's how a lot of people don't realize it starts. You know, like you have the talent, but when it came down to like you doing everything, putting it on social media, it's a whole nother a whole nother beast.
You need a team, man.
Yeah, you do.
And to be honest
100%.
with you, there's a couple of cats out there that are probably doing everything by themselves.
Yeah.
But I promise you, they're only going to go so far.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, and what it does is it starts to take away from the creativity. Like you
Yeah.
know, you want to be able to sit down and just like write your script, like think about what is this next set gonna look like, and
Yep.
if you gotta be like, well, I gotta schedule a post and let me respond
Yeah,
to comments,
exactly.
and at some
Yeah.
point at the end of the day, it burns out those creative thoughts.
Exactly.
You exhausted.
Exactly.
So.
And
It does.
like you said, it burns it out, and it burns you out all together. It makes you lazy.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know, so, and he got me out of that lazy spell. You know what I mean? So I think everybody needs someone
To recognize that.
Exactly.
That's such a blessing to have someone like that. Like, yo, and they'll stay on you.
Yeah.
And they'll stay on you. I've had a couple
Yeah.
homies like that too with
Yeah.
me, and then it's like, and they'll push it for you, and then they'll make it to where it's
Yeah.
awkward if you don't start
Yeah, if
pushing
you don't-
yourself.
yeah, if
It's
you
like,
don't-
bro, I'm
Exactly.
telling everybody, like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I've had other friends and family members. They all have been very supportive, and all were like, "Man,
Yeah.
you should do more." You know what
sure.
I mean? But he's the actual guy that actually just pushed me out down the stairs down the comedy stairs.
Yeah,
Man,
down the
I
comedy
love it.
stairs. Yeah.
I
Let's
love
go.
it.
Yeah,
I
that's
love it.
that's awesome. And so was he the first one to like put your like video, like what did he post like that made you be like, all right?
Oh, to be honest with you, I feel so bad. I don't remember the first thing that
Yeah.
he posted, but I do remember I went to an open mic. One of the first things, and it could be the first thing.
Yeah.
We did an open mic at the Rhino in Kansas City. It's a great spot. I was a bit skinnier back then, so I don't like watching it. It makes me feel bad.
oh, no.
But I do believe that was the first video
Okay.
that he posted.
Yeah.
So from then on, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Let's keep this going.
Yeah, did it get good traction? Like with
Yeah,
people?
well, it did. Well, I started adding it with the Malik on the streets and people
Yeah.
watching it, and you know what I mean. And one thing that I learned too, a lot of people think you get into this, and all of a sudden you've got 10 million followers.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
A lot
Yeah,
of
people
people
think
think like
it
that.
just once you post something, everybody should like it, and everybody should interact, and everybody should do. It doesn't go like that.
Exactly. It doesn't work like that. And one thing that I'm learning, and I think we're learning together, is that you got to constantly just keep going at it.
Consistent, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You might get 2 views, you
Yep.
might get 2 million. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But you got to go through those 2
and then
views.
one day you're gonna wake up, and then sometimes you look like everywhere you go, you're like, I'm hearing Malik in the streets.
Yeah.
Malik in the streets, and I'm like 500 people said Malik in the streets. And
Yeah.
there's only like a couple hundred people seeing it. So
Yeah.
Right.
you've got to also embrace those too. Like, hey, people are seeing it.
That's what I'm. You know what?
You know what I mean?
Man, and that's such a struggle, but I know what always keeps that like moving. I feel like if you really do love it, like
Yeah.
you'll go through these things. Like it'll try every ounce of how much do you love this, and if you really
Yep.
don't, you will
Oh,
quit.
man.
Yeah, for
It'll
sure.
try
Yeah,
every
you're right.
single spot of that love for
100%.
that. So man,
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's in anything you do. Sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it becomes hard, do you love it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
You got to
mean?
wake up and go train.
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
cliche, what's your why?
Yeah.
What's your why? But that's when you start asking, like, man, is it still there? Like, why am I here?
Yeah, is this right for me?
Yeah.
You know, if you're a comic, when you're upstairs, when you're on stage and you're not getting that laugh,
Yeah.
or the laugh you thought, the hard laugh you thought you're gonna get. You know what I mean?
Hold
Like,
on. Yeah.
Talk
Like,
about that. Talk
yeah.
about have you gone and like have you like bombed a show?
You know what? I don't want to like toot my own horn. I've never bombed.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But let me explain that. I've had jokes that I didn't get laughs on, but that doesn't mean you're bombing in the
Nope,
set.
it don't.
Yeah.
It don't. Every
just
audience is
didn't
different.
resonate. Yeah.
Exactly. And anyone out there that's thinking about getting on stage, even and no matter what you're doing, even in music, you write your own music and you get up there, and maybe the audience you're in front of doesn't, excuse me, particularly like that song.
Yeah.
You might find another audience that do, and the fact that they don't like it may tell you, hey, I may need to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, you know
exactly.
what I mean? I tell everyone, if I have a bad joke, keep it going.
Yeah.
Because it may be just the way I told
And man,
it.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And as a musician, I really connect with that because I've done a lot of performances, and sometimes I know, like, and it's not about, I had to come to this realization. every audience receives what they're hearing different too. You can't expect, we have expectations as performers sometimes, and we want to see faces like how we think it should be. And it's like some people are just like trying to like, who is this person? They're sitting there studying you, like taking it all in. And that's not a bad thing, you know? And then other times you'll go out there and everybody's just like, they're really intertwined, they're connected with you. So it's just, it's growth, it's maneuvering through, because you could be killing something to like, you go to one place and you go to another place and it could be crickets, but like you said, it doesn't mean you're bombing it. People are just like taking it in and getting to know who you are. And
now trust me, people have bombed whole sets too.
Oh, for sure. It will happen. Mistakes will happen.
I can't say that I've bombed an entire set. I can say I've had jokes that bombed. I can say that I've had shows that didn't turn out as well as others. But I've never had that feeling of, should I just get off stage? You know what I mean? Like, I've seen comedians straight like this.
Oh, yeah.
And
like you start seeing them like, that's it.
Just put the mic back in.
And
they just walk the hell off.
That's
it.
And that's it. And that I think it comes down to confidence too. Like if you hold on to the crowd, they feel that no matter what you're doing. If you're 100%. New at it, they know if you're confident, and if you lose that confidence, they start to lose confidence in you. Like it's very deep like
that's
that.
That's the difference I feel, and when I'm having a really good one. Like I feel during the Battle of the Champions that Top City Comedy just had. They have competitions all the time, and all of us who won a competition, we all came to battle each other, and I felt extremely confident. And I could tell the difference to times that I'm not feeling extremely confident, and you know what I mean. And shout out to all my loved ones and my friends. They tell me the truth. Like,
hey, that's the best. Yeah, that's the best.
They ain't loved ones if they not telling you the truth on things, man. That's not loved ones.
Unfortunately, they like to tell you the truth when you don't want to hear it. Like. About your weight or something like that.
He'd be like, hey, listen, I didn't ask for that.
I ain't trying to ask for that.
He said, how was this show, bro? I'm not asking you.
Do you really need another piece of chicken? Yes, I do.
Exactly.
I do. It was good. I'm not eating for my looks. I'm eating for the taste.
Exactly.
So when it comes to that, like, where do you pull your influences from? Is there a specific comedian that you were like, man, that gave you a spark to, like, what got you sparked to want to do comedy?
Honestly, that question gets asked a lot with other comics, and everyone has like their one. I can't say I had like one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just loved comedy, but I think really for me it was not getting my ass whooped. You know what I mean? Like, like I told you guys before, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and the areas we lived in, you know, it was you either fought or you made them laugh. You know what I mean? And so I think that's how it started.
He said, I'm making all y'all laugh, exactly. I promise.
It's like, hey, we can't bust his lip or else we won't be able to laugh. You won't tell a joke.
Exactly. And you know what? Not everything is like as progressive as it is now. You know what I mean? Like, when I was younger, it wasn't cool to be this dark. And for some of you out there, it probably still ain't. But and then I've always been big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was like, dang, if I don't want to get picked on, I gotta get these people on my side.
There you go.
Because everyone's coming to you like he's gonna help us. You said, no, I'm not like that.
I'm not that guy, bro.
I'm not that guy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look at me, bro. I'm more like Wayne Brady and Biggie Smalls.
I'm a lover, bro.
Like,
chill.
Baby, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that guy. Especially like, I lived in Tennessee for a little while. And people found out I was from Kansas City, Missouri, and they're just like, "Oh, you gonna start this gang?" I'm like,
what?
Bro, my mama was an old school mama. You know what I mean? Like, my mama had me old. I may have lived in the projects, but my mama raised me like old school. There's nothing gangish about me.
Like, I was getting the clothes off the line. I was hanging outside, bro. I was doing chores. We weren't thinking about no gang stuff.
No, we wasn't doing that. Especially when rap music came out. You know, I'm 40 this year. So, you know, I remember the young stages of especially gangster rap. And I remember my mom being like, he said, what? He called her a B? What? He did this? And I remember I used to have to listen to rap music like I was doing drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you had to sneak. Yeah, make sure.
He's telling me put that Tupac on real quick. Hold on.
Now hurry up and put that public enemy tape in real quick.
Let me get a little hit of this verse right here.
Get this hit of this verse real quick.
He said I'm buzzing for the day. We good.
Listen, good NWA real quick. Yeah.
Man.
She finds all of my NWA tapes. And all my Too Short tapes.
She said we need to talk.
I have a problem, Mom. I'm sorry.
Pull up, the cops are home, bro. She just sitting there and said, son, we found your stash.
We found your stash of rap music. Do you need help? We're actually just concerned. You're not in trouble. We're concerned.
So what age did you move to Tennessee, you said?
Oh, so I was about 15, 16 when we moved from Kansas City to Tennessee. I only lived there for about 9 months or so.
Okay.
Close to 9 months, close to a year. Time gets since COVID, man. My time be off.
It's a whole new world now. Yeah.
But then I ended up moving here to Topeka. I was already familiar with Topeka. Topeka was always been a second home to me. My family's here. My grandmother, aunts, cousins. So we were always coming back to Topeka like every other weekend. So Topeka was not strange to me when I came here. I already have friends, already have family. I ended up going to Highland Park, HP.
Oh, that's our first.
We got the first
HP in here.
First HP.
Man, my heart.
Man, shout out Highland Park.
Shout out Highland Park.
It's funny. With
501, let's go.
It's great to be a Scot. You know what? It's crazy though too because you know when my mom moved up a little bit in the world, we did move to like Shawnee Mission. We moved. You know, that's when you get out of the hood, you move to Shawnee Mission. You know what I mean? Like Overland Park area.
I'm out by Shawnee Lake. So.
That's what you do.
Got that same feel.
It's a Shawnee. You moved
down by the lake, baby.
Get out of the hood. It's called Shawnee. All right.
It sounds nice.
It's called Shawnee. I'm there.
We're in there.
You know, so we moved there. So I actually moved to. I went to a school in the suburbs as well.
I got you.
Went to a school in a little town in Tennessee, and then here in a medium-sized city in Topeka, or small city in Topeka. And I'll tell you what, out of all of those schools, I got more out of Highland Park than any of the other schools. I don't care what anyone says about HP. I don't know what's going on there now. I know it's some crazy stuff. There was crazy stuff back then, but it's different. I love that school. I loved Highland Park.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people, like, because I came from Texas. I moved here in 2008. And then I went from we had like 6,000 people in we had 5,000 people in my graduating freshman class in Texas. So I came from a big school.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. It was crazy.
That's like two Topeka highs.
Like it was crazy. So we had, my freshman year, we had the largest, like, class count like in like
the
school
in Texas. What
North,
did you say?
In Mesquite. So North Mesquite. It was my high school. Shout out to North Mesquite. I was only there my freshman year though, but you know I still connect with people from there. But so coming from that school, coming to Topeka High, and there's only like I think maybe 3,000 in the whole school. It was shell shock for me, but I wouldn't take it back one bit, man, because Topeka High, like the school in general, like just the history and just the people that you connect with, the stories that you were able to, because you could go with athletes, you could go with theater people, you could go with, goth people. I mean, you all connected.
And both Topeka High and Highland Park. I think there's even some senators and congressmen and women to come out of there.
For sure.
Know what I mean? So,
for sure.
And then people be hating sometimes. I don't think people realize there's actually quite a few rich kids that go to Topeka High.
There is, and that's a good mix. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of good. I grew up with some. I grew up with some
there, not just race.
Yeah, kids that come from millionaire families. Like they're like millionaire. Like literally, you can look it up. Their dad is such and such. This dad is such. And it's just like they blended in, just like I came from the east side, like 10th and Locust. So it's like we blended in like with everybody. And I think like Highland Park, the same thing too. You know what I mean? There's a good blend. There's a good mix. But it just goes to speak on like the culture, like the schooling. Like I said, like you said, You don't know what's going on there now. But when I was there, it was a good time.
It was a good time. That's how I feel. Shout out Hope Street Academy, baby. Shout out Hope Street Academy, baby. You know how I waited? I waited too. I was like, let me. I'm gonna shout that out, but really,
got to. That's hilarious.
But yo,
no, I'm sure there was hundreds, if not thousands, of people waiting. I'm like, oh, what's up?
Yeah, bro. I'm for real. Like, man, I mean, I almost didn't make it. Like, I went to T West and was just never wanting to be there. Mm-hmm. We'd be skipping school just to go sleep off in a parking lot. We really didn't want to go to school. It's like, we'll go park somewhere.
Yeah.
And so, man, ended up at Hope Street. But Hope Street, it's the people make the place. Like Hope Street, I met some of my best friends there, man. And it was just down to earth people where it was kids in trouble and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I want down to earth people around me. You know, I know I'm struggling with some stuff too. So it just felt like I connected right in. They said, Mike, just show up to class and we'll help you. We will make sure you graduate. Well, like they were really helpful, man.
Because they realized too, like, listen, it's the system as well.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Y'all are smart kids. Y'all may have some behavior issues, or you may be a young father or a young mother, but y'all are smart kids.
For sure.
In high school now, you got to go do all this stupid stuff now that has nothing to do with actual real life. Even in college now, you go to be a doctor. Why do I got to go learn Shakespeare to be a doctor? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think kind of Hope Street is kind of like that. Like, listen, we're gonna get rid of all that other bull.
All that fluff. And like, we need you to know this, and this.
You need to come out here because you're a different type of mindset.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I know I have quite a bit of friends and even a couple family members that went to Hope Street and graduated from there and probably wouldn't have graduated if it wasn't for Hope Street.
I'm one of them. You know? I wouldn't have. I guarantee you.
And I want to give a shout out too. I could be wrong on this. Sorry for yelling at this. I could be wrong.
Good.
And if I am, I apologize. But I think I heard the long-term principal of Hope Street just retired after this year.
Mr. Diddy? Mr. No?
I think so.
Wow.
And a lot of people are pretty sad. I heard he was.
He's been there for man. Mr. Noel was such a I remember him. He's been there for that. I graduated in 09. So I mean, he's been there. He was there for a while when I got there. And then shout out him, man, and shout out Fernando. He was the maintenance. The took care of all that. Fernando is. I see him at the most random places, but you know, just Miss Miles. Shout out Miss Miles.
Isn't it crazy though how much also like janitors at our schools?
Oh, they make
no one ever takes
the biggest effect.
They don't get enough love and shine, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
I need to get Fernando on here, bro.
Everyone knows who Mr. Feeney is. Who was the guy emptying out the trash cans and saw everything? Who was the guy that every once in a while he had to break up a fight? You know what I mean? Like,
bro, we had Big Will. I don't know if you knew who Big Will was at Hope Street. Rest in peace to Will, though.
Big Will, was he the janitor or was he the security?
He was a security.
He was the security.
Big Will was security. My dude would come, big old,
Man, let me tell a story. Did you say he passed away?
Yeah, it's been a few years now. A few years. Yeah, he passed away from cancer, man.
I actually have a story. So when I first got to Highland Park, y'all already know the saying of Highland Park is, it's great to be a Scot. Right? I didn't know that when I first moved to Topeka. I didn't know the Highland Parks was even the Scots.
Yeah.
Right? I go there. I go into his office, and he's got powdered donut all over his uniform and all over his face. And he gives me my stuff, and he's like, "Welcome to Highland Park." And as I leave, he stops me. And with powdered donut all over his face and all over his uniform, he goes, "It's great to be a Scot." Mind you, I don't even know that Highland Park is the Scots.
Yeah, like, that ain't my last name.
I start backing out slowly, like, all right, is that powdered donut or cocaine? It was powdered donut, though. He wasn't into that. Not just married. But that was my very first time meeting him, and that was my very first time hearing his.
And that was Will.
That was Will.
So I wonder. So he was like security at.
He's been doing security forever. He was at Highland Park. I think he even did security at. He's known.
He's well known. He's well known. He'd pull up. He'd always have something new. He'd have something. He'd be pop the trunk like, you need some shoes. You need some fresh. My man would always be pulling up the new swag at school. So man, rest in peace. But he made it. I'll never forget that. Dude, he'd have a fight. There'd be a lot of girl fights at Hope Street too. And he'd just walk in at the most calm and just lift him up.
I don't remember ever seeing him yell or get angry.
I've never seen that man.
But a guy his size, he ain't gotta yell.
He don't gotta do nothing. He just walk in, carry him
never met him.
Yeah, he was, man.
Yeah, no,
Great guy.
he was a Topeka fixture. I mean, those of y'all that are watching that been in Topeka for a minute and went to school in Topeka, y'all probably
Yeah, you know Will. You know Will.
Will. That's crazy. Okay, now with that being said, when you graduated, like, did you really think, you know, like, where did you think your life was gonna go? Like after graduating from, you know, HP
man,
and
we're
like
about to go down this rabbit
yeah,
hole.
like yeah, where do you think that was
you
gonna
know
happen?
what? So I got into ROTC real big when I got here to Topeka.
Okay.
I didn't want to do sports. I was done with that. You know what I mean? Like at this point, I was just lazy with it. But I found ROTC, got onto their drill team, and just thrived in that. But I also lived the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I was that high school kid you could come party with, drink with, do whatever. Then I was also that ROTC cadet that took it way too seriously.
Say, but when we in ROTC, no games.
Yeah.
No games.
Uniform?
No games. Yeah, when the uniform's off, the party's popping, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When the uniform's on, the tin hut. You know what I mean? And so I said all that to say that when I was after high school, I planned to attend the military. I was going to go to either the Air Force or the Navy.
Yeah.
Just because I was that ROTC brat. But I was also that kid that was like, hey, I graduated. You know what I mean? I worked hard. Excuse me. I deserve to take a year off. And those of y'all that are ever out there thinking, I'm going to take a year off to do anything, you're kidding yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because what you don't know is life continues on.
Yeah, especially after high school.
Especially after high school.
That downtime's dangerous.
Yeah.
Like once you get yourself out of that routine,
It
it's
is because you know you start developing bad habits, everything. I gained more weight. Then they were like, "Well, you got to lose weight to get in the military," and I'm like, "I got to lose weight to get in the military."
Yeah.
What the hell? Y'all gonna lose it for me? This is why I'm here.
Y'all supposed to whip me in shape.
Exactly. I don't want to pay a gym membership. I want to get paid for losing
comes
weight.
with the benefits, bro.
Exactly. I get a GI Bill. I get more weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get to travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. And so within that too, I met my now wife.
Oh, okay.
And then just kept her pregnant for like 5 years straight after that.
Just locked it down, baby.
Yeah, locked it down. You know
You ain't
what I mean?
You ain't going, you ain't leaving ever.
Yeah, we have 4 children, and let's just say when the 4th one was born, the oldest was only 4 years old.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
was
weren't
so,
lying.
Yeah, so yeah, I've actually
Definitely
spent my
did.
entire adult life just being a father.
Yeah.
But I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. The military thing was just something I thought I was supposed to do. I never actually knew what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew I wanted to be a father my entire life.
There you go.
And I got that, but I would have spread those bastards out a little bit.
That's a lot.
Bro, man.
How do you deal with that mentally?
You just do it, man. You just do it. Like anything else. Like, you know, when I had one kid, I'm like, how do people do it with 2?
Yeah.
And then I had 2, and then I'm like, how do they do it with, and so forth. And now I'm just like, you just do it.
At least you got 4 though. At least like you can
At
take
least
2,
I got
we take
4.
2. I'm always not at least, but I mean, you got to think you can at least divide it up to 2 and 2. Like you take 2, I'll take 2, and one's not outnumbered. Like with 3, it's that awkward.
Yeah,
like, With 2, you're like, okay, you take 1, I take 1. 3, it's like, all right, one of us has got 2.
Third
now.
one's like that problem child. You're like,
the third one's taking care of themselves.
like you know how to make dinner and Cheerios. Go eat. No.
The 4th one, by that time, I imagine you're like, all right, like brother, sister, y'all handle that.
Yeah.
Like go change the diaper. Like
y'all
I'm
got
providing
that.
for the bills and
Yeah.
stuff in here. Yeah,
You know, and I get it. Like I kind of get it because like with 4, there's really not a middle child.
yeah.
Almost, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
with 3, it's like it's the oldest.
That awkward,
'cause
yeah.
They were there first, and then there's the baby, and then there's the one that's taking care of themselves, the middle one.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like with 4, I will say I have 3 sons and 1 daughter, and I'm sure the boys just think the daughter gets away with
Everything.
with murder, but she doesn't. She rolls the house with an iron fist, but
She runs everything.
she don't. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't need. She'll tell on them boys they can't do nothing.
Yeah.
She'll tell on them in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh,
Shut
Mountain
it down.
Tattletale. Oh yeah, they can't.
Yeah.
They don't possess enough
Yeah.
possessions to give to her to bribe her for anything.
Yeah, I'm the baby of my family. That was 3 older sisters too, bro.
Man.
So I was that dude trying to I was washing them, bribing them, the one that was doing the most, but not ever being looked at
trouble,
as doing anything.
Your mama loved you and your sisters hate
you. Yeah,
dude, we trying to make it work. We're coming back around though.
Yeah, we're coming back around right now. Yeah,
we're
coming back around.
And it's almost because I'm the only boy also, and I'm the baby, and there's a large gap. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I get 100%. And then when you get older, you feel that animosity a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Because they've been holding on. The older you get, the longer you've been holding on to it.
Yeah. That bitterness gets worse. It's cancerous, bro.
It gets worse. It's and especially when they start messing up their lives and your life is going, your bills is paid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's really bad then.
Man.
Oh, there's your golden child with his electricity turned on.
Yeah. Oh no.
But he just thinks he's better than us because he has car insurance.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
hilarious. So you didn't go to the military? Or you didn't?
I didn't go to the military because I just started working, put my head down and started working.
Gotcha.
And that's what I tried a lot of things. Tried going to school. You know what I mean? Just did that stereotypical thing that a lot of people do out here.
Yeah.
Just that book of life.
That book of life.
Okay,
so
cool, graduate, go to college.
Yep, exactly. So I just really focused on my children. And then I would also tell people too, be careful with that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I really did focus on them. But at the same time, I had a lot of children really quick. Yeah. So there was a lot of risk that I couldn't take. That I had to take. But for those of you that may be out here with one child, just with one kid, and then you have someone to help you and you have the time, take advantage of that. If you have the time to do something, you know what I mean, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? But
solid advice right there.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. That's literally where I'm at. My thing is I have Hezekiah, obviously, me and my wife are married, but we she's a great support because when I had the dreams of running the gym, she's like, okay, I'm gonna take care, I'm gonna stay at home, take care of Hezekiah. When we're doing the podcast stuff, it's she's like, all right, right now they're at the zoo, so it's that help to where we can sit down and we can do this, you know what I mean? But I've thought about having more kids, but I'm I would love to, if you could promise me a girl on the next kid, I'm good. Yeah. But if I would love the boy the same, on our next one. Yeah. But it's just a matter of I don't want to bring more things in right now when it's I know everything else is growing
and
too.
It's great
because
to have that mindset.
Trying to get that foundation kind of secured a little more, man. And with me being a dad, it's tough because I'm gone a lot. So when I leave, my son chewed a hole in the floor. It's kind of crazy. So now I gotta leave him in the cage now.
I was about to say
No, it's not. It's my puggle. It's our little puggle puppy. Shout out, I miss you, Teddy. Yeah, miss you, bro. But anyways,
Teddy just in the house tearing things.
That's it, bro. It's eating anything.
You was eating the floor. I was sound like he hit his ass. That's what that sound like. You get good old fashioned.
Say you ain't spanking him, are you? Y'all don't believe in that?
No kids, do you?
But then he hit you with the cage, and it was wait a minute.
I said, dog, this is going a different route. This whole conversation is going
Someone call CPS right now.
Yeah, exactly. He going overboard now.
Let's clip that out, bro. I don't want no one in my house.
All you got to do is whoop him, man. You got to put him in a cage.
Spank his butt, something.
We can have a parenting segment, bro. This is great.
Oh man, yeah, but no, it's right though.
No, it's good to have that mindset though. Too.
Yes, that's important, bro.
And that's why I think it's important too to people to try your best. To wait till your mid-20s, maybe your 30s when you start having these kids because you have a different mindset.
Mm-hmm. You do.
You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking at all. Obviously, what guy is thinking when they're in the process of making a child?
None.
You know
None at all.
I mean?
Unless you're Elon Musk or somebody that's up there that has them and it's all right, this is what we're gonna do.
This is what we're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Everybody else we
so we having this baby on Mars.
I'm not even thinking about babies. I didn't know how babies was made. I had to Google it. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey Google, how are babies made?
He said this is full instinct right now. We're gonna talk about how it's done later.
This whole time, she's out, she's been getting pregnant. Oh my God. Man, it was crazy.
But it's good that you're able to, still, you said you're 40 now, but taking that career leap and, going into, obviously you're not doing it full time yet, with comedy or anything, but taking that, initiative to get out there and do it,
Well, and also it's just actually just having a good time. That's an experience and the things that I get to see with, me and my buddy are going out and he's recording and the people that we get to introduce ourselves to and that get to meet us and the things that we see that are going around with, man, we have some adventures.
Yeah.
So, and that's what it's all about. I'm not, about the fame. Some local stuff is starting to happen.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's all about the experience.
Yeah.
And I tell people too, when you're doing stuff for the right things, the good things will just automatically happen. And
it'll line up.
Yeah.
It's easier to live like that too.
Because you don't go out there looking like, like when I started the I'm from Topeka stuff and when I started like my mental health stuff, like I didn't go out there. I was just like, man, I'm just going to document my life, bro. Like I'm from here. Like this is just what we do here, And then I have bipolar too. So this is just what I do. But like you said now, like I go out, man, I go on a family walk and I'm in my neighborhood, like the car passes us, and then
said, "I'm from Topeka."
It's crazy because they pass us, and then me and my wife just casually have a conversation. I'm probably about to whoop Hezekiah's butt because he's not listening, riding his bike, and I'm just out there talking about like giving him a stern little talking to.
And now you got to remember who you are now, like right. You're there whooping him, man.
You give him a look.
It's like
his
ass.
He was giving this.
He's from Topeka for sure.
It's a Topeka ass.
Exactly, but I'm just like, I mean, it like stuff like that happens. Like I forget. Like I be out in public, the car pulls over, like all the way down. I'm like, okay, the car pulled over. They just popping out to go home or something like that. And we're walking, we slowly getting closer. And the girl, shout out to Ann, she jumps out and she's like, I got a weird question. And I'm thinking like, yeah, what's up? She's like, are you the I'm from Topeka guy? And I was like, I am. Like, yeah, I don't mind. Like, I don't mind. Like, but it didn't click in my head the whole time. I'm walking. I'm like jumping on his because I was like, boy, you shouldn't be riding down the street and going behind us and doing all this stuff.
Well,
but I didn't jump into it for that reason. Be like, I want people to recognize.
Oh yeah,
me.
exactly.
No.
And it just happens, and it does feel good.
It does. It does.
But I have to remember. I know I can't walk into Walmart now just any type of way. I
gotta
go in there. Yeah, I can't go in there.
It makes you kind of watch yourself with more people. You realize the power of influence. Like you're impacting people, and they're humans too. But we're gonna have human moments though too. At the same time, it's like if you catch me mad because I like my debit card got declined, and I got that's why
I am human.
Like I'm not gonna just be.
I'm not rich from this.
Singing something out there, getting my debit card declined. It's like I'm a human being. Just like so. With that, do you feel like it's a tough thing to be taken? Like since you're in comedy, do you ever feel like people don't? It's harder to be taken serious sometimes. Is that ever a struggle or anything that you ever like? Man, it's
I can't lie to you and say that it's not. Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
But it's like that on both worlds because of my appearance. Sometimes people take me too seriously. People are too afraid at first. Sometimes I gotta calm people down. But then on the other hand, of people, there's been times that I'm not taken serious enough because I'm that funny guy.
Yeah, and they're like waiting for the joke, and it's like we're having just a serious convo right now.
Yeah, exactly. But I think for the most part, the most struggle is when being that guy that always, I feel like sometimes have to make people feel comfortable all the time. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, again, a lot of people that look like me kind of feel that sometimes, you know what I mean? When we walk into a room, we've got to constantly assure everyone that we're good. You know what I mean? And that's probably too where some of my funny comes from too. Just moving. I think
that's super cool though, bro. Like you're like, I'm gonna take away that intimidation factor by making you laugh. Like that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So I tell people a lot of time, like with the social media stuff, it's like what people get like. People want to jump on social media and they want to blow up and they want to do all these different things, but they don't have something that's gonna make them want to come back and look at you. You know what I mean? Like comedy. Like if you could make people laugh, bro, you could get people to come back because people always want to laugh. Like I was heavy into fitness, and I've kind of slowly stepped away other than the fitness for myself and my family and stuff. But people don't want to work out all the time, bro.
No, you're right.
I don't care how passionate I was about it. No. Like people don't want to be. People would be like, man, yeah, like, all right, I'll spend $20 on a workout. And then the next time they come around, they'll be like, okay, I'll spend $20 on a workout again. Like, I don't feel like going to get my butt kicked today.
Yeah, no.
You know?
And paying for it.
And paying for it, yeah. Like,
you say you heavy on the fitness, I'm just heavy.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I'm just saying, but we can get you. I can get you right. Whenever you're ready, I get you right. But I'm not. Yeah, but it's one of those things. Is like the comedy thing. Like a lot of my collaborations and stuff like that. I tell people like I do comedy. Like I love skits. Like I love like acting and doing different things like that because at the end of the day, that's funny. Like that's gonna be funny. Like that's gonna get people to return. That's what's gonna get people to connect with you and you humanizing who you are. Compared to people being like, yeah, he kicked my butt. There's a very select few out there in the world that are like, I want
Thank you. Like I need that.
Yeah, like that. Like I need that. Like I said, like that dog. Like they got that dog in them. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot more people who be like, yeah, I want to sit down and eat this burrito and laugh tonight.
I mean, and that dog is tired too, though, bro. Sometimes, like that dog needs taking.
Tired. Yeah. Like oh shit, I gotta go out here and do
it. Yeah, exactly. You're right. But no, that With what you do now,
full disclosure, I don't know if we can say that name out loud.
Well, yeah.
We worked at a warehouse.
We did work at a warehouse together. Yeah, we worked at a very, we worked at a warehouse together. Put it that way.
We all worked at a dang warehouse multiple times. I feel like we all did multiple times.
But it's one of those things. It's like when I first met you, I didn't know anything about comedy or anything like that until like we really started talking, and then you showed that side. So what is that like you told me your role there, but what is that side like?
I get actually all the time. I get people like stopping me and like Malik in the street, especially at work.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said. It's mostly shock.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh my god. But I mean, people know that I'm friendly.
Yeah.
The cats that have been working with me for a while now, they've always known that I was funny. I'm always keeping the break table going.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people are generally shocked, especially because of my role there. Sometimes I have to take more of a serious role.
That's what I'm saying.
And so for the most part, to answer your question, is general shock.
Yeah,
I just saw you on TV. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. They're right. The camera adds 10 pounds.
Yeah, but then you're like, but I need you to.
Yeah,
like, I need you to lock in. Right here to get this done. Like you might have seen me, but
I appreciate it. Go ahead and get that work done.
Go ahead and get that work done. We can talk after.
Yeah, right.
But no, it's rough out there. Shout out to anyone working in the warehouse field, man.
Yeah, respect.
But you know what I mean? It's allowed me to raise my family. It's given us a pretty good life. You know what I mean? Kept my bills on, kept the lights on.
For sure.
Kept the bills paid. Kept these kids with their hand out. These dang kids.
Yeah, that's true.
All they want is money, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All they want is money.
That's true. What's called with the warehouse job, that's probably why I've had 17 different warehouse jobs. Any warehouse in Topeka, bro, I've worked there.
Dang.
Me too.
That's actually the only warehouse job I've ever had.
Really?
I've had one warehouse job for 16 years now.
So you're a champ.
I've got you there, man. But it's all about, you go through different departments, though. But them kids kept me coming. You know what I mean?
True. That's what it is.
You know what I mean? That's what it came in. Yeah. What am I supposed to tell?
It ain't just about you no more, right?
Yeah,
it's like, okay, I'm gonna make good money. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Because people make you mad. People want to come out there with their pridefulness, and I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Like, hey, y'all can't play no video games because daddy ain't gonna be disrespected at the job.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? They wanted daddy to lift some boxes.
Right.
Yeah.
And, hey, I'm sorry, y'all, but the Xboxes and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They not taking.
Only box I'm lifting is Xbox.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. We got this ice box in there. That's about all. So it's crazy. No swimming pool. Y'all just gonna have to use the water hose.
They said ice cubes in the bathtub. All right, you know what it goes. How it goes. We got this.
Can't see. I grew up getting wet. Y'all gonna get wet like we didn't swim. You got wet. Went to the fountains.
Yeah, exactly.
We got the hose out.
You know what I'm
saying?
Shoot. These
Get the
kids
sprinkler out.
don't know nothing about shit. Water out of faucet was like
That's
remember the parks too.
Yeah,
We straight up out metal tapes. No, we didn't care, bro. It was refreshing.
Metal, yeah. I thought
was
that's how water was
refreshing.
supposed to taste.
Right, me too.
Yeah,
I thought my water's supposed to taste like blood.
Yeah, like blood. Yeah, exactly.
All that iron,
Rusted metal.
Yeah, those were the days, man. Those were the days.
Wait till I moved to Shawnee Mission. Shawnee,
Yeah, it was a Shawnee,
I
bro.
was like, oh wow, this water's pretty clear. What's wrong with it? They're like, supposed to look like this? Oh my goodness.
He said, don't taste like penny. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Why isn't your ice as murky as how I grew
cloudy.
up? Yeah, it's not supposed to
weird.
look like that, actually.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So do you have a lot of family? Is a lot of your family like around here, or are you guys kind of spread out?
We're spread out through the country, but there's a lot of us. My grandmother had 10 kids. Shout out to grandma.
Shout out grandma.
85 years old, still kicking it, still drives, still got her wits about her. You know what I mean? So yeah, she's created quite a big family. So there's a lot of us here in Topeka, a lot of us here in Kansas City. My grandfather's side of the family, and that's another thing. Kansas City is just a funny place too. To be honest with you, there's always saying there's like, hey, there's one class clown, man. I grew up, there was like 3 or 4 of us. You know what I mean?
I was one.
Well,
Good Lord.
is Funny Marco from KC?
I don't think so.
I thought I
Maybe,
seen
though.
something.
He might
He's
be.
from
Might be.
KC. I think
Might
he's
be.
from KC. Like Funny Marco. I could have
Might
sworn
be.
I seen something that he was from KC. But I mean that's just a little off topic though. But
Yeah.
I mean, but there's some comedians that come from Kansas City too. Like,
it's filled with funny people. It's filled
Yeah.
with- But it's just because of life in general is funny. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, no
If you
matter-
really think about it,
you
yeah,
really
there's
think
there's
about
there's
it.
content daily
Yeah.
because it's like
Yeah.
it just life. Like you could be driving, you see funny stuff. Just
Yeah.
people
All
in
the
general
time.
do funny
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Just human error. Like it's funny.
And
So
you know what I've learned with my comedy? I try to do comedy that everyone can relate to.
Yeah.
Men, women, black, white. Because I've learned is that the players may be different, but the game's the same. Shout out to the movie Big Mama. That's what-
facts, facts.
okay.
Love that movie too.
But shout out to Martin Lawrence.
Shout
Yeah.
out Martin Lawrence, man. That was a favorite.
That's where I got that quote from, and it actually stuck out to me because it's true, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can just find what everyone relates to, man, it doesn't matter what room you're in, you can get people to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relate.
Yeah. So, and then with that, how do you keep your cup full? Like you're giving everybody comedy and stuff. Like where do you pull from to like kind of, you know what I'm saying? Keep your comedy cup full so you can give to others. Is there anything you do like rituals or anything like that really keeps that?
Man, to be honest with you, no. I actually keep my phone on hand. Anything that kind of pisses me off, I already
You just ready.
and I put it in my phone. Maybe come up with a joke. It's kids especially, man. Like my teenagers especially keep the shit going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But then also, like we were kids once.
Yeah. Like
For
things.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we can relate on that aspect of how we were with our parents.
Yeah.
How we were with our parents.
Word.
And we can also now relate to how it is being a parent.
Yeah.
You know, we all had, most of us have had siblings or cousins. It's just we, instead of always looking at the differences, I always try to find what's the
How
same.
we alike, and there's
and
millions.
then I
of things.
write it, and that's where I
Okay.
pull from.
That's dope.
But
man.
if I
That's
can
cool.
find something that I'm like, everyone can relate to that, then I get on it.
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
just kind of keep your phone. I'm the same way with my phone. I got my little thing, like, and it's because you know these things can hit, and you got to be able to put it down. Like it can hit randomly. Like you get that idea, you see something, you don't want to lose that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's usually what's special. So
Yeah. So answer your question. Real life is where I pull
Just
that
life,
from.
yeah.
cool.
Just
Like
real
I
life.
feel that.
That's
what's
the
up.
best. That's
That
the best.
is.
You know, real authentic with it too. You know. Now with your comedy and everything, where's your like ideal place to you want to do a set at, or you know things like that? Like,
Man, I would love to do a show at Showtime at the Apollo.
I was gonna ask you that. What about the Sandman though, bro? Do they still have the
that-
Sandman?
I don't know. Do they?
Yeah. Do you remember the Sandman?
Yeah.
You get you get a boo.
Yeah,
that
you
man
get
comes
really
sweep
booed.
you right off the
Yeah.
stage, bro.
Man, that's some old school stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, that was also Apollo did the same thing.
Okay.
And that was this. I think you're talking about the same guy.
Okay.
And it was the Apollo show.
Oh, so it was
the Apollo. Yeah, if you're doing bad, he comes sweep you up.
Yeah.
off the
So
stage.
that wasn't the same thing then. Showtime at the Apollo and Apollo or what?
No, there's Showtime and Apollo, or whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It depends on what region you're from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or who you talking to. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Okay.
I think for the most part, like if you at a barbecue and you're like Apollo, everybody gonna know. What
Everybody know.
you're
Okay.
talking
Okay.
about.
All right.
You know what I
Right,
mean? But I would love to perform there. I feel like if I can just make it 1 minute without getting booed, it's a success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Do you have like, is there a favorite environment? Because I know with me being a musician, I have like my favorite type of environments, or is it just kind of, do you have a favorite of like where you prefer to like, you know, is there something in environments that make you feel more like, oh, this is a spot, like this is cool? Is it lighting? Is it, you know, do you like smaller, kind of more intimate things? You like outdoor, and does it even matter? Like, you know,
I would say the perfect environment if I was to get on stage would be I don't care how many, or it'd be mid-size or bigger, but a very diverse group.
Right.
That would be my ideal crowd.
Yeah.
I would say second of all, I love performing in front of black crowds.
I got
a
you.
lot. I just love making my people laugh.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of black clubs here in Topeka that I can get on. So shout out to anyone that's out there.
Yeah.
That knows some clubs I can get on, get out there. I would love to, but
Drop a comment if you know something for sure.
But I would say to truly answer your question, just a really diverse crowd, as far as race, class, age. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
I feel
all
that.
of my jokes hit on that, and I know I'm gonna make somebody laugh out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Do you
know what I mean?
do you do crowd work?
I do crowd work.
Yeah.
I would like to work on it a bit more. I know some great comedians that do great crowd work. Here's my opinion on that. Not to knock any comedians with the crowd work, because their crowd work is up there with my jokes.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you can get carried away. I'm
Saying.
You could piss some people off.
Yeah, you can piss some people off.
Yeah.
And I'm in the mindset of you're coming to laugh. You're not coming to get laughed at.
Get bullied. Yeah.
You know what I
essentially.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because some of that crowd, like you said, some of that stuff gets this, like some people jump up on the stage, like they're not gonna sit there.
And they'll be like,
exactly.
Well, and then it irritates me because they'll be like, heckler goes after a comedian. I'm just like, bro, you was just literally talking about that whole man's family.
Yeah, the whole family.
The whole man's family. Like, come on.
At that point, they're not a heckler. They're Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's almost like
keep my wife's name.
right out exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost like slap felt around the world, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's almost like I feel like when you gotta go that route sometimes, and I may be wrong. This is just my opinion, but it's almost like it's easier to do that. I feel like that's an easier thing to do versus sitting down and writing like good jokes. Like it feels a little bit easier, and just to take that moment and kind of start roasting people.
Yeah.
Anybody can roast.
I feel like
people
crowd work.
in a way,
I feel like
depending
you should,
on what it is.
You should do crowd work, but it shouldn't be like more like roasting,
like involving people
roasting
and not straight up.
are your number one thing, and I respect too, what you're
because there's
saying,
good
too.
ways to roast though too.
There's
There's always ways with it.
And I respect too what you were saying about it being too easy, but I also say too, like the ones that are really good at it, it is actually harder than you think.
It's a different art form,
because it is a different art
sure.
form doing crowd work, because a lot of it is just off the hip.
It's like freestyling.
Most of
It's the
it is
same. It's like
the
off
hip.
top.
You know what I mean? You may have something that you may keep in a bag. You're just waiting for someone to say this. It may be something common.
Word.
Someone can say like, "Hey, have you been married? Oh, are you married?" And
you've
been having something in the bag. So there is an art to it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But I also think that there should be a balance.
There should be.
You know what
definitely.
I mean? Like if you're gonna have some crowd work, throw some jokes in there. Know when to get off of the crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean? Know when to get better. But no, in saying all that, I would like to up my crowd work just a tad bit.
Yeah. Have it in there. Have it in the bag.
And no more so of like making people feel bad, but just getting the crowd involved.
Kind of involving them, Because sometimes y'all be feeling so uncomfortable. You'll see a comedian just like target someone for the whole
85 South show, bro. Some of the stuff I'll be like, bro, Like I know y'all are comedians and y'all are well known, but sometimes it's like we might have to. You're gonna have to catch this fade when we get out back
for you outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna be waiting for you.
I'm out there.
Waiting for you.
Like we gonna have to figure this out.
It's not gonna be funny later, bro. It's not.
I didn't pay $100 to come get worked.
Yeah, that's it. All right, and then it's bad if you get like 2 comedians in a row. Like you get the other comedian backstage looking and like, oh, I'm about to get him.
I'm about to tear him up again.
I'm about to get him 2, and we about to get him 2 in a row. You know what I mean? I was just at a show where one of the other comedians came up and was like, hey, can you not heckle that guy right there? That's my friend. And he doesn't. When I know you like to heckle people, and I'm like, ma'am, I don't heckle any. I don't do that to people. Like, she was like, yeah, the last time you said our son, his name was Graham. You called him Graham Cracker. And I said it was a different comedian. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that is.
It was hilarious, and I wish it was I who said that, but it wasn't. I was like, I wish that was me. Yeah, I was there that day. Yeah, but it was another big black comedian. And another comedian showed up. I'm like, hey, you remember Graham? He goes, oh yeah, Graham Cracker.
Oh man,
I said, I told you.
Look, there it is.
I promise you, it's not me. So come see my comedy. I promise you, I'm not gonna make you part of the show.
I respect that. I respect that you think about it like that. That you're not like by any means it's comedy, because it's, to me, that's too much. Like I'm the same way with music. By any means, like there's balance with different things, you know, to me as well. So that's cool. And again, that's just how I think about it. But everybody has their own. But that's cool that you respect people enough to be like, I'm not gonna sit there and like just heckle you.
You're here to laugh with everyone else. You're here to laugh with everyone else. In saying that though, I think some people also, we're talking about balance. Sometimes when you go to a show, you got to also remember you're at a comedy show.
Like, know what you're walking into. You know what I mean? Don't take everything super serious. Like,
for sure.
Have a sense of humor. Why are you going to a comedy show at the same time? Like, it's not the right place.
Because, like, if they get you, like, one time on something.
Then that's like, that's
okay, But it's when they, like, doing you like Reggie did, the Nutty Professor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, but that you see what happened to that.
But then, you see what came in. But Sherman would have been wrong if he would have went and got a baseball bat, came back, and you know what I mean, doing him like that in front of fine Jada Pinkett. Exactly. She was fine in a mug sitting there. She was dogging him like that. Dogging him. And I don't want to do that to nobody. I don't want nobody coming to one of my shows. You know what I mean? They got a girl they've been trying to get forever. You know what I mean? Like, we about to go see this show. And I start pointing out all of their flaws in front of this beautiful woman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. You know?
But see, I grew up doing like going to school, just me and the homies. We would roast that. I love that, but there's just a time and place. There's balance.
Well, you're the homies.
That's
a spot for the homies.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a very patient, loving guy and all that, but there is certain things. Like, if I'm sitting at a comedy show and if you start like targeting me or my wife, I'm probably gonna be the guy. Unfortunately, Mike G just got assault. Like, I don't mean to. I'm not threatening nobody. I'm not that one. No, I'm not.
I couldn't even do that with the homies. I'm like, there was like there's like 2 or 3 like I would take it too far.
And it's like, bro, we gonna fight. Well, no,
I could joke with, but when you do like the roasting sessions in like middle school and stuff like that, they always knew, don't talk about Tevin, bro. Because Tevin wants to fight.
Tevin likes to fight.
Tevin likes to fight.
It's like he's looking for a reason to fight. He actually wants you to talk about it.
I didn't even put myself in the situation. Like, when I see people start cracking on each other, because my thing is, I don't know how to crack back on somebody.
So
like I know how to fight though. Like,
I'm about to get back.
My get back is I'm gonna make you hurt.
Everybody gonna see you get knocked out. And laugh about you back then.
Exactly. Like, I'm
not one of those clowners for 3 days.
It's gonna be a problem. I gotta talk to my dad now. I gotta go home, and my dad's gonna he's not gonna beat me, but he's gonna give me a whole earful. You know, but
for the rest of the year, you're gonna be known as the dude that got knocked out.
That's what I'm saying. So that's how I was too. It's like it's funny. There's just boundaries with it, and you know when you're taking it too far with people. Like, and if you don't have that discernment, then you're gonna find out. Someone's gonna learn. Someone's gonna learn you that. So
it's all about that balance.
And speaking of which, what like doing the comedy shows here and stuff like that. I know we talked earlier about another comedian here, Mama J. Like, love Mama J. But
Mama
how's
J.
it? Yeah, how's it? I haven't been able to come out to any of the sets at the Top City Comedy or anything like that. But she's constantly saying like, hey,
busy.
Like she's like, hey, like, are you coming to the show tonight? I was like, man, I got a podcast. I got this. We got this. I got spend some time with family. But what's it like, knowing her and like where she's been, like on Netflix and things like that?
Oh man, I think it's great. That's what we were just talking about. Like I watched her show. Normally I only watch shows like that if like my wife and my daughter are watching it, you know what I mean, or something like that. I find myself intrigued by it. But I watched it in support of her, and I really liked it. I loved it. I love everything that's happening for her.
Yeah.
And we're not blind. She's old. Jay is old. Jay knows she old.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? But it just goes to tell you're never too old.
You're never too old.
Because if you're that age, you got, imagine all the content from life you got.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then mastered that.
And then this is another, whole nother life that's starting. You know what I mean? For her. So it's like you go through different stages of lives. I'm just learning that at 40. It's like different stages, and she's going through another stage right now.
For sure.
And I'm 100% happy for her. And we gathered around the TV and we watched it. I'm not going to lie, Jay, if you're watching this, my daughter's mad at you.
Uh-oh.
For voting off the mom. There was a single mom on there. And you know what I mean? And my
Come
daughter,
on, Mama J.
Oh yeah.
Mama J.
My daughter's pretty basic. She loves watching like those reality shows or whatever like that. So Jay voted this woman off. And now my daughter, whenever there's a show, she's like, "Is Jay gonna be there?"
I got a bone to pick.
You owe someone some shit.
You owe someone. Hey, it was a game. Jay was playing the game.
And
it was an accident. Jay didn't know she was gonna be the only one voting for her. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
we love you, Mama J.
Yeah, we love you, Mama J.
She always keeps me cracking up. So I just want her to keep doing it and take this ride and keep going, you know what I mean? So
man, and she showed up, and shout out Mama J for showing up to the state, the Capitol for the music video too. She showed up.
If you're watching this on YouTube, she's in the opening clip. She is in the opening
Mama
clip.
J's in it.
She got the potato chips, you know what I mean? Mike's rapping right next to her. Like she eating potato chips. Mike is rapping.
And she's hilarious. Guys. If you ever get a chance to see one of her shows,
I need to. I'm going to.
If you see her, especially if you see her like at a bar or anywhere else, and she's around a group of people, go up and just sit around, bro.
Yeah, her story. She is funny.
Actually, too, at her funniest. Yeah, man. She's.
I sat down, and had tea with her and coffee with her. And
she's just so genuine. Like, she's so genuine.
And on that show, that was her on the show. It wasn't. You can be like, I don't know about any of the other people, but. It was like, okay, that's
she's being that's
Jay.
Like,
she's being Jay. Well, she farted on air like twice. That's Jay. That's Jay.
That's true. That is very true.
Man. So man, to kind of get close to wrapping up here, like I just had a question for you. Is there anything you want to really leave people with as far as like if they're on a journey, maybe to new comedians out there that are just getting started, that are kind of maybe a little bit timid about even stepping out, but they know they got something and they're almost to the starting point of stepping out. Is there any advice or anything you got to give to just maybe up and coming comedians? I
would say the number one thing is write. Right. If you don't if you're like me and you don't know how to spell, you get your trusty phone and just pull out your notes and talk to your phone. Yeah, and your phone will spell it right. I promise. But yeah, man, just keep the content coming because you never know because that'll allow you to be ready. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I mean, doing music. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's bunch of songs you keep coming up with. Yeah. So no matter what situation is, you're ready for it. Yeah. The last thing you want to do is a lot of times comedians are people who think they're funny. They get on stage because they're funny with their friends and in a group. And so they're like, I'm just going to get on stage and I'm just going to talk.
Yeah.
And that's not
the homies.
Yeah, that's
they're
not.
Like, what?
They're like, what?
What kind of inside jokes with the homies?
Exactly.
And
inside jokes. And it's it's like, then he flipped her in the trash can. No. And it's like no one else gets that, but his buddies that are back there cracking the hell up. Yeah. And it's like, what? He flipped her in the trash can? Yeah. What the hell does he mean, Martha? I don't know, Joe. Just sit there.
Speaking laugh and clap. Laugh and clap and do
no pun intended. I was talking about someone senile and I said Joe. No pun intended.
Yes,
I know you all saw the debates yesterday.
Yeah, dude.
No pun intended.
This will go on for another hour.
We could go on.
The only thing I'm gonna say one thing. I went to bed. That was a show. My wife had it on, and I was going to sleep to it. And I was laying there, like I was trying to not listen. But bro, because I try not to even ever watch them, but like,
Oh, yeah.
yo, why was like, who was the guy asking the question? Like, who was interviewing them?
I honestly don't know their names. It was a lady and a guy.
Whoever the guy was, he was being so like when Biden would keep talking and he'd be like, all right, Biden, thank you, and just completely because he just keep going.
Yeah, because I feel
I
bad
was
for
like,
them because both sides, like I don't know what to do. Like if both sides. I'm not saying I'm either. I don't really support either one of them, and I think. At this point, a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are at a crossroads. They don't really know what to do.
I think everybody's finally waking up to realizing, like, why are we electing these old people? Like, why are we only getting these options?
And I'm not even getting too political. I was just shocked that, like, I was like, this is where we're at. Like,
that's what I think a lot of people
I don't want to get too political as well, but I think that's where most people are like,
yeah, that's
like
how
after
I was.
It was over, they were just stuck.
Yeah,
and then I'm picturing the rest of the world just cracking up, like they're watching a season of The Office.
Yeah,
or some shit.
What
you know what I'm saying?
I see someone
my
post
man
that on
asking
Facebook.
questions was taking it more serious than anybody.
Yeah,
I'm like he's doing a great job.
Cracking the hell up. And
it's crazy.
It's nuts. That can be a whole nother thing.
Yeah, we don't dive into. I don't dive into politics.
A whole nother podcast for that one.
But it's just. I mean, like literally, like y'all said, like it's literally the. Like I think America, I think everybody's kind of waking up and realizing like, what
are we doing? Yeah.
What are we doing?
Both people who support Biden, people who support Trump are like, oh,
it just makes me grip onto my face. Like God's in control. God is in control.
Like how am I about to go to work tomorrow and defend this? So now everyone's at the break table quiet as shit. Ain't nobody saying a word at the break table. Everybody,
I'm about to start cooking, bro. I gotta get it. We can.
Ain't nobody said a word.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's wild. But man, the last question here is what is your favorite memory or favorite thing about Topeka?
Oh man, that's a good question. My favorite memory? About Topeka. Mm-hmm. Oh man. This one is for the old school cats. I wasn't quite living in Topeka, but like I said before, I spent a lot of time here. It was a second home. Mm-hmm. Cushionberry Park used to throw these concerts all summer long.
We're out there on 15th, right? Mm-hmm. Shout out Cushionberry. Mm-hmm.
Shout out Cushionberry Park right there in front of Brown Board of Education.
Yeah.
And this was back before they fixed that building back up. You know what I mean? But I just remember Cushionberry Park. I remember my grandpa, all the old heads. That's where they were always hanging out. The concerts, just all of the families coming around, just all the black people being able to come together, and nothing was going down. And that's my entire life, whenever I think of Topeka, that's actually what I think of is Cushionberry Park, summertime,
turning up,
outdoor concerts. Yeah, everyone turning up. That's what I would say about Topeka. So anyone who remembers that, please give a shout out.
Yeah, Cushionberry Park, baby.
You know what I mean? That used to be popping.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's real dope. All right. Well, and where can everybody follow you at on follow your journey?
If you're on TikTok, your boy Malik in the Streets. On Facebook, you can at Facebook book Malik Comedy. Also the same thing for Instagram and Malik Comedy for YouTube. So.
Let's go.
I'm on all of those. So hit your boy up. You'll see Malik in the Streets. I'll actually be out there for the reggae festival.
Okay.
Oh, is that at the
this Saturday?
Is that at the is it Celtic Fox?
It's in front of the Celtic Fox.
Celtic Fox. That's right.
Yeah, the Celtic Fox.
So you're gonna be doing Malik in the Streets there?
I'm gonna be doing Malik in the Streets there. We're going there. Yeah. So just promoting and get some people out there, because like y'all, man, that was one reason too why I started doing Malik in the Streets, just because I wanted to show that there's a lot going on in Topeka.
There's a lot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
I
appreciate what you guys are doing too.
For sure, man. We appreciate you. And also the For the Culture. You're gonna be at the For the Culture, aren't you?
I am. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's why I seen you. I did the Malik in the Streets last year there at the For the Culture. But It's gonna be a good event, man. Good event. So
yeah, man.
Yeah. So man, thank you for coming out, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
you for being here.
Thank you.
Y'all make sure that y'all follow my man and y'all stay in the tune. Also, drop some comments below. Who should we have next on the podcast? We're about wrapping up with season 1, but who should we have? Yeah, it's moving. It's moving. Like this is episode 7. We still got the guest list filled out for season 1, but drop in the comments who y'all want to see on the podcast, and make sure that y'all are liking, subscribing, sharing, and hitting that bell notification button so you can never miss a I'm From Topeka podcast.
Don't miss it. We got some great guests lined up. Much love to Malik on the streets. Been a great conversation.
Yeah. So y'all know what it is. We'll see y'all next episode. Let's go.
Love my city, babe. From the north, south, west to the east side.